Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to be playing the Beastmaster with his new weapon, the Bone Crusher. It does start off with Brutal Slam, but the secondary skill is Summon Cave Bear, so we are going to be playing in the caves of Dalzog. Just makes a lot of sense. With regards to our runes, we've got Multicast Mastery, Weapon Expert to make sure we do get the bear, Dash Mastery, Generalist, and Executioner. We are going to be playing on Curse VII, of course, and we are actually going to be playing a summons build. We are going to be getting rid of our Brutal Slam as soon as we can because, well, although we do have 2 or 3 slam skills, we aren't going to be focusing on the skill. Unfortunately, the radius of the skill is just too close to us, and therefore even with a lot of area of effect it still only hits really close to us and therefore causes us problems. Now the reason we're going a summon build is because the cave bear affects nearby allies, it buffs them, increasing damage as well as max life. So we are going to be trying to get battle mooses, our summon war tigers, as well as the summon shockwave totems. Now they do buff the shockwave totems as well, and then we're also going to grab a Bestial Wrath, which buffs only summoned allies, so it doesn't buff us. We can then focus on that. So let's hopefully get everything we want, otherwise we will just randomly get skills until we can get things like that. Random skills to look for would be a lot of the swing skills. They are very strong in the game right now. So, you know, playing them will be very good. Like Subdue will work really well with Brutal Slam until you remove it. Or Chromatic Bolt is going to be a really good choice because of Generalist. And just things like that. Although Chromatic Bolt could be really good until you get to the very end of the area. Again, we are going to be getting rid of Brutal Slam. So we're not going to focus on its area at all. Again, we do just want to grab the summons as quickly as possible and replace the skills that we are not going to be using. But if we do get like slam skill upgrades, that's fine as well, because our totem as well as the bear are both slam orientated skills, so we can grab them. Again, we're just going to grab whatever we can to help us, so we'll grab a Demolish. Actually, we'll do another reroll. A Thunderstrike is fine. Some cast frequency is great. A slow is going to work. We're just going to grab whatever for now, and we'll work out the logistics from that afterwards. Anyway, grabbing Dazed is fantastic anyway. So Lightning Bolt, or sorry, Chain Lightning and Thunderstrike are going to just help us push the early levels until we get the skills we can get. So pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to grab what we can. Not going to grab the bonuses to them because we are going to be removing them from our arsenal. So there's Shockwave Totem, and increased quantity on bears is actually the best upgrade you can get while playing them, because the more bears you have, the more they buff you. Each bear buffs your character separately, so you get 10% damage as well as 15 flat health increase, and then each bear can obviously buff you. So right now that means each stat is times by 4, so it would be 40% increased damage and 60 flat health. So really good to get more bears into the game, and that's just going to 1, deal more damage, and then 2, increase the buffs that you get. So really big upgrade to get over there. We did get our Bestial Wrath, so we are going to replace Brutal Slam with it. We can go for damage, and then we are going to go for the damage on the War Tigers. So really good. We've got our buff for our summons as well as our summon buffing our other summons. So really cool. We do just have to be careful over here. Again, we are going to go for a build that requires us to do just stay alive, and then everything else is going to happen on its own. but you do just want to make sure you are close enough to the bosses, because right now we do have skills that cause damage like our Chain Lightning as well as Thunder Strike. So especially with Dazed, it is going to help with the Thunder Strike to be close, because Dazed just means more damage. Okay, we do want that life, so fantastic. We are going to banish Leviathan, grab a touch of Ice. Multicast is fantastic here. If you were looking for skills, Heartrending Strike is pretty good. Grab some cast frequency. Expansion for the bear as well as for the shockwave and bestial wrath, and then increase the health of the bear. Alright, so that's perfect. We've nearly killed the Chaos Bringer as well. I'm sure he will die in a second. There we go. And we're on to the Incarnation of Fire, who's taking a whack ton of damage. Try and do not do what I just did, where we dashed past the Void Presence and into the close to our pets, and therefore the Void Presence went and killed 2 of our pets. We did just get our Battle Moose, which is fantastic. And then now I'm not 100% sure what our last skill can be, because we have an open slot and we don't necessarily need to grab ourselves that specific skill. So we can just go for something else, maybe going for a Blade Storm's really good for the explosive, goblins, so we don't have to worry about them. But otherwise we are in a fantastic spot. Really strong. Well, at least I feel like we are very strong, and we're getting some really nice damage off there. Maybe Bomb Barrage is a really good one because of the weakness, but we will have a look-see at how that goes. So again, we got Thunderstrike for the Dazed, but again, we can just pick up Doom to Dazed, and that's going to make us deal more damage over there. And at least our Cave Bear does give us more life to kind of tank enemies a bit better. So really good that we got that. At least now we've got 2 Ice Incarnations and a Plague Bearer. It's a lot of AoE effects on the floor, but much easier to dodge than like a Plague Bearer, not a Plague Bearer, a Chaos Bringer, as well as the Prophetess or even the Fallen Knight. So very good. We're going to go for some cast frequency over here, but we are going to lock the damage, because obviously damage is king. So we'll keep damage up and running. Be wary of, again, the Void Presence and where you are in relation to your summons, because you don't want to kill them like I do accidentally. So you do need to just be wary of where you are in relation to them, just to make sure you're not dying. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, fantastic. We're going to go for some cast frequency over here. As you can see, a Cave Bear has a 46-second cooldown, so we do need to work on that cooldown. Gone down by 6 seconds, which is huge. Banish the Fire Shield and grab a Venomous, because just having poison increases our damage because of Executioner, as well as just poisoning something deals more damage to them. Now we do have a Void Hunter somewhere around here that needs to die. There he is. That's a Paladin, which is annoying. I don't think any of us like the Paladin as a Void Hunter, but I do see that the beasts climbed into his face and they mauled him to death, which is fantastic. And we've got a good amount of upgrades. So a good one, Avalanche is very good here. Chaos Bomb, but again, we are going to be looking for our Bomb Barrage, because we do want the weakness. So we got an increased quantity to Battle Moose. Again, increased quantity is probably one of the best things that you can get. And we are going for a lot of health on our units here, because they have such a large cooldown. So grabbing the health is going to make them stay alive longer, and that's obviously going to make it so that when they are on cooldown, it's just going to make them stay alive. So as you can see, Bestial Wrath as well as the Cave Bear buffing our summon totems there. So really good to have them. And again, ooh, so good. We just got ourselves Impending Doom. That means we can now get rid of Thunderstrike as soon as we find a relevant skill. So we could actually go for Avalanche. That's going to help our summons stay on top of enemies, because we will be able to slow them a lot more. Otherwise, we can go for just something that's going to be pure damage, and that's going to just help us. But it does need to be ranged, so Bomb Barrage, very, very good, as well as Avalanche for the, you know, Doomed Days, as well as just proccing its own slow. And it also gives us a higher chance of seeing Hypothermia as well as an upgrade. So very, very nice skill to grab as well. Alright, one boss down, 3 to go. We got ourselves the Eternal Guardian, Plague Bearer, and the Prophetess. Not a bad combination. They're not too bad, so not too worried about them. Prophetess obviously having her little laser beam one shot is a bit of a worry, but again, we've got our summons to kind of, you know, make sure that that's not happening to us. So she'd be dead already. That's fantastic. 2 more level ups, and let's see what we can get. Here we go. We can go Chromatic Bolt. That's going to give us the Generalist, so very much nicer upgrade for us over there. Very much needed upgrade, and we're going to grab some more life. So although Chromatic Bolt is a little bit weaker than what it used to be since the projectile changes in the game, the bonuses you get from having it when you are using, let's say, a summon build specifically, and you don't have a lot of variety in tags, it gives you that extra huge damage boost. I mean, I'd say huge, but it's not, I mean, 65% plus minus, so that is quite a big damage boost. And because runes now affect your summons as well, that's a damage boost to every single one of our summons as well. So really, really, really good. That is like 3 rare upgrades for each of our summons just because of 1 rune. So really, really good rune, really good weapon as well. Make sure if you don't have any other plans or any other ideas in your mind, a Chromatic Bolt with all of the summons is fantastic. Alright, so next 4 coming up, we're going to increase the damage of our Chromatic Bolt and just keep going from there. Also, having Chromatic Bolt increases our chances of getting the synergy passives, so there will be a higher chance of now getting Hypothermia, and if you don't have Doom to Dazed yet, it's going to increase your chances of getting that as well. And now we're just going to stay close to the bosses so that we can see them, and we're going to keep our pets on them. So another very, very good upgrade that we would love to get is another sprint or dash, so that we have a 3rd dash if necessary. I could have dashed there, I'm not sure why never, I wasn't really thinking straight. Alright, so let's keep going. I do hope that the cave bears do a lot of damage. It will be extremely upsetting if we have picked the caves of Del Zog with a cave bear and the cave bear doesn't outshine the other characters. So it would be quite funny if it doesn't, but not really what we are planning. You know, we want the bear to be the most damage dealt. And it can be, because it is pretty strong, and we do have 4 of them as well, so very, very possible. Alright, so Fallen King is nearly dead. When he dies, it means we can circle the bosses a bit closer. Again, very dangerous to circle around him because of his huge AoE. There are actually 2 of them, and we just got shield bashed, so, you know, that's fantastic. Oh man, why are you guys focusing me and not the minions? Come on. I have so many summons, why can't you focus them instead of me? Alright, we have a Chaos Void Hunter. As you could see, we did nearly get hit by a Death Claw. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, those Death Claws, they hurt a lot. So please, if you see it, make sure you dodge it, because that is a very one-shot potential attack from the enemy. Alright, we've only got the Incarnation of Fire left for this round of bosses. There is Dead and Dusted. We've now got ourselves the Chaos Void Hunter over here, which we can now focus as well. And there we go, everything is on top of him. Well, I thought it was. It looks like it is. So there we go, he's dead, so that threat is gone as well. How much crit do we have? 85% crit, that is fantastic. And I would like a Chaos Bolt to hit that so I can heal anytime today. Or something hit it, I think. Woo, he nearly walked into a laser there. We've got another Incarnation of Fire. We've got the Eternal Guardian, that's easy. We've got ourselves the Arse Incarnation, that's fine. The Prophetess is probably our hardest, or the one boss that we do need to kind of watch out for, just because of her laser again. But otherwise the rest of them aren't too much of a problem. So hopefully our little summons are going to focus on the Prophetess. We do have another Chaos Void Hunter over there, which is a bit painful. As you can see, summoning quite a decent amount of AoEs around us as well, which means that we again have to just take a sideline over here and survive, because we don't want to get hit by random AoEs, and we don't want to just die when we could just stay a little bit further away and survive. So grab these for at least a level, fantastic, and grab some fragility over there. So fantastic, everything is dying. It's taking a little bit longer than expected, but they are dying, so it's all good. Now, this is a very interesting build. I wouldn't say it's the most fun build, but it's definitely fun for my summons. It's not a very interactive build, because again, we just got to run around and survive while everything dies around us. But that is a lot of people's playstyle, especially those that love summons as well as like the Necromancer. This is just another way of building, an army of creatures to, kind of carry you. Alright, did we kill the Void Hunter? I do believe we did. We can now stand a little bit closer. We do have the Prophetess over here. We've got to make sure that you do keep moving though, because there are all of these ads that do like to, surround you and deal chip damage to you. So you've got to kind of stay away from them as well. Again, while we got to continuously move and try and stay alive that way as well. I mean, you've got to continuously move anyway because of the Void Presence. But even if the Void Presence wasn't there, you've got all of these other enemies that you got to stay away from. Now, my life is very low. We still got one more life, so it doesn't actually matter if we did accidentally walk into something and die. But just like that, I was about to say, but we probably won't, and we did. So, oh man, that was pretty funny. That's what happens when you aren't really concentrating on where you go. And done and dusted. Look, it did take us quite some time. It looks like it was 13.5 minutes. We do have enough time to go into an endless run, but our little army, very, very strong over here. I do see some bears there still alive, so that is fantastic as well. But let's see who the king of the beasts is, and it is the War Tigers. They just deal way more damage, unfortunately, and their cooldown is way shorter. So if they do die, they are going to deal more damage. There are also 6 of the units, whereas the bear, we only had 4. And also the bear does buff them a lot more, so that does make them stronger. But as you can see, Shockwave Totem not doing bad amounts of damage. Battle Moose coming in third, Cave Bear, and then War Tiger. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.